If we're not smiling at the start of the show, it's just not a show.
Yeah, that's right.
Hello, everyone. We're back. Marty Chinesky here with my good buddy Ken Brown. And we're your host of Local Sports Wrap-Up, Wine.Cable 15. What's today? August 29th. It is August 29th.
Hey, welcome back.
Oh, good to see you.
Yeah, how's it been? Pretty good?
Oh, haven't seen you since August 5th, the old street fair.
Yeah.
Good little party that day.
No, I enjoyed it. That was my first time.
Yeah, maybe. And all my buddies are always there, and they like to talk all that football stuff and, fantasy football and everything else. And
Man, I learned so much from the guys, man. I think it's interesting when you get together with a group of friends that continuously play fantasy sports. I love it. It's great.
That league, those guys, 1986 we started.
With paper. And pen.
Oh,
That's
yes.
it. That's all they had. Paper
That's all we had. We didn't have alerts. Anyway, football started, what was it, the 26th?
Yeah,
Just
last
started.
Thursday.
And I've got some results up here, going to be up here on the board in a minute. Wyandotte, Allen Park played really well. Let's say some of the downriver teams played really well. Woodhaven played really well, and Allen Park played really well, and Grosville played really well.
River Rouge played really well.
And Cabrini played really well.
Okay.
Southgate even pulled one off.
Yeah.
19-0 against Etzel Ford. Allen Park, 55-22. We're going to talk about that game in a minute. Woodhaven, 37-12.
Carlson beat up on Lincoln Park 45-0. Southgate dominated Etzel Ford 19-zip. And this is a shocker. Trenton beats state champion Chelsea 6-3.
Amazing.
Slugfest.
And of course, took care of Romulus. We don't have that up there. And Summit Academy beat Saginaw Arthur Hill, another downriver. And Grosville beat Gabriel Richard. But let's talk a little bit about Allen Park and Wyandotte.
First, set the scene, right? They're at Wayne State in the Zenith Kickoff Classic, which I don't know how many years it's been around, but it's kind of like the big deal for local high schools to go to Wayne State and play. And they normally have a couple games Thursday, and then they would do a couple games on Friday. So it was kind of cool that they invited Wyandotte and Allen Park to come there for this Kickoff Classic.
Well, I believe Wyandotte was the visiting team on that game, and Allen Park doesn't have a football field. They started construction on a new field back in the spring, and it's still not done.
Get out of here.
And they're shooting for the end of September now. Yeah, my shop's in Allen Park. I get all the inside info. And so they were going to play, maybe before this was set up, they were going to play in Wyandotte, and they would be the home team.
Okay.
Which brings the question, are they the home team and they get the big side of the field and they get their announcer? And you think it would work that way?
Not at all.
No chance?
Not at all. You're not coming to our house and being on our side in our locker room.
But you're the home team.
You should have had a field. You're road warriors. Yeah, you're home by just the name on the board. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
That's an interesting thing. Well, let's see. It was 22-14 at the half.
So they kept it close early.
Yes, and the very first drive, Wyandotte got the ball. Kid picked it off, went 40-some yards for an Allen Park score.
Wow.
So, we're moving the ball, let's say, and then bang, the other way. And then after that, I think they got a 90-yard kickoff return, put them up. Or was that the start of the second half?
Yeah, you're talking about the Allen Park, Josh Rimber. Oh,
yeah.
But Allen Park scored the 90-yard interception, right?
Yeah,
or the kickoff return.
Yeah.
Josh Rimber took it 90 yards to the house and actually helped him win most outstanding player for Allen Park for that game.
Oh, do they do that at that tournament?
Yeah. Kind of let you know who your superstar was for the day. So that made him the superstar, the 90-yard touchdown.
And the other thing, Wyandotte is under a new regime. Chris Merrill taking over for Mr. Adams, Ron Adams.
Yeah, and we talked about it a little bit. Ron Adams had a great career here. 16 years, 15 state title,
Playoff
appearances. So that's going to be a tough act to follow, even though last year I don't think was the playoff team.
No.
That was the one that he didn't make.
Right.
So Merrill takes over and he brings his program in, and we'll give him a chance. That's a tough start, right? You get your start right there at the Zenith Kickoff Classic. So.
Right, and it was with 105 left in the first quarter. It was 13-0. And then we got a 17-yard run. Max Biondo, he's going to have a good season for us. He was he was Studley last year. He'll be all right.
Right. So he had 2 touchdowns Friday, and then he was the Wyandottes version of most outstanding player for that Zenith Kickoff Classic.
So he scored from 17 yards out and 13 yards out. He had 100 total yards and scored on a 2-point conversion. So he was pretty much responsible for a lot of the offense. And we'll stop at 21-14 at the half because it got a little ugly.
Yeah.
And I didn't even write down the rest of the stuff.
No.
But if you're tough on the new regime. But Allen Park's a solid program, and we got to get back to being a solid program. It's you got to get talent, you got to coach them up, and let's face it, it's I don't know if they have 40 guys on their roster. We were trying to determine that before the show, how many people they actually have, and so my buddy out there in South Lyon doesn't really want more than 40 if he can help it.
Yeah. I think the hard part is you got to make sure kids stay healthy, right? Yeah, so you want to have at least 50, 60 kids. You hope you can play 2 ways, and
absolutely,
everybody can get a turn. But if everybody can contribute, it'll work out. I don't know. I like more numbers. I understand what your buddy's saying. It's just harder to coach more kids, but in football, you hope to have more numbers because it's a car crash every play.
Yes,
yes,
it is. And they don't run half speed these days. Everything's full speed.
Everybody's faster, bigger, stronger. Yeah.
One more little update. River Rouge they had another game over there at this showcase at Wayne State. They were battling Cedar Springs.
Yeah.
And they made a 2.5-hour drive down from the west side of the state. Can't use that as an excuse. I believe the game was pretty much 0-0 at the half.
Okay.
And then Rouge, starting quarterback for Rouge gets hurt. And the backup quarterback goes in. And Mikhail McDowell, he replaced Christian Johnson.
Okay.
And he got 22 points on the board.
Quick.
Controversy?
Quarterback controversy. I see what you're saying. Now, the good thing was that Rouge was rated in the top 5 in their division, and so was Cedar Springs. So it came as a highly anticipated matchup. But Rouge shut them down with the backup quarterback, 22-0. It sounds like the defense stood on their heads.
Yeah, they run a power T. Want to explain that to me? Is that 3 backs and the quarterback?
Yes, and
it's a
3.
T.
Yeah, so if odds was sitting here, it'd be us. It'd be a T. But I'm thinking power has to be that it's run heavily through the fullback. We ran a wing T, and it ran through the fullback. But the speed guys would be the ones on the edge of the tight end, and then they would go in motion. It's kind of a misdirection piece. But the power T, I'm going to just punch you in your mouth, and I'm going to run it down your throat.
Because they moved the ball, but they just couldn't they got 4 and outs too many times as they got close to the goal line. And Rouge, got tough and held them off. And and they also have a commitment to Michigan State.
The wide receiver, right?
Yeah, Nick Marsh. And he scored twice in the second half. All of a sudden you can't get nothing going. It's like, let's throw the ball to him.
Yeah, let's go to the D1 commit. How about that?
Yeah.
That's a good, especially with the backup quarterback, right?
Yeah.
That's
the strategy you're going to do with that kid. Just get him the ball. Get him the ball. So he scored, let's see. He scored 32 yards.
Yep.
And then he scored again, I think it was 17, something like that. But yeah, he scored twice.
Yeah.
And then they had a running back score once.
Yeah, Cameron Broadbent's also scored. Rouge is in action. Rouge is in action Thursday, September 1st at 7. It's a home game against Battle Creek Lakeview. It will be the second leg of a home-and-home series with the two schools, but the Panthers won 50-0 last year. So
Yeah, and speaking of next week's game, we got these up on the board here. We'll go over those.
Okay.
Home team's on the left, Woodhaven, Lincoln Park. I have to say that that's a 50-0 game too.
Lincoln Park has a new coach as well, and he actually came from Wyandotte. I'm going to try to get his name, but he was at Wyandotte last year, I hear.
That's right, because this guy took over, and the Lincoln Park guy, our Wyandotte backups, got over there in Lincoln Park, and they took almost the whole crew.
Yeah, it
right?
took a lot of the coaching staff over there. I think they had one holdover that stayed at Wyandotte. So I think for Lincoln Park, my neighbor is the Lincoln Park middle school coach, and he feels really confident because of the history that Wyandotte had with 15 playoff appearances in 16 years, and basically minus Adams' similar coaching staff. He's saying Lincoln Park's going to be good in about 2 or 3 years. And,
the other thing that Wyandotte did well, though, is like the grade school kids and the middle school kids, whatever, middle school in ninth grade, ran the same system.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a head coach on varsity, you better have the feeder system doing the same thing.
And they do, because that guy I'm talking about is actually the middle school coach, and they run the same system. And they also do like a bridge program where those kids go to dinner to meet the coaches and the players at the high school. And they're trying. He says they have the athletes, so in the next few years they should be really good. Lincoln Park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see why not. New AD. Well, we got to get back up to the games here. We do have a new AD. Woodhaven, Lincoln Park. Then we got Taylor, Allen Park. Allen Park should roll, I would think.
Yeah, they just 55-22. Yeah, it looks like it. And then Trenton plays Southgate. Southgate won 19-0. Trenton beat the state champ 6-3.
Think about the Trenton beating the state champs. That's the new guy that they had all the problem bringing in the new guy as coach last year when the one guy that was waiting 20 years to get in line, he doesn't get the gig. They bring this guy that has huge success from Illinois, Indiana, somewhere down there.
I think it was Indiana, yes.
Indiana. And he has huge success down there. And he's an older guy, but he comes up here and beats the state champs. And it only took him a year.
Yeah.
So
first game of the year.
Trenton's going to be no pushover. One more time with the games. We'll get the last two up there. And
it was Southgate, and we just talked about it.
South Edsel Ford, Gibraltar Carlson.
Okay.
And then our boys in Wyandotte are going to play Warren Mott.
And that's, again, similar to the Rouge playing that whatever team they have a back and forth for. One at their house, one at our house. So that is in Wyandotte, because remember last year they went to Warren Mott and played.
Right, and they have only 9 teams in the league, so they have to do the odd man out. And our bowling is in the same situation. We have one, so we just sit out.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to get I was talking to the new AD. His name's Mike Schley, and I had to go in there. I went in there to meet him, but he wasn't in there at the time. And I'm on the back burner because he said, "Let me get the fall sports going.
Let's get going."
You know, let me get. You wouldn't worry about the winter sports when winter comes around." But we got a nice little chat. Good, 10 minutes on the phone, and it was about him getting the program going and all that. And he said, "I got a lot on my plate."
Young guy?
I met him on the phone.
I got you.
I haven't got in there and talked to him just yet. He's we're working on it though.
No, I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere, right? I mean, you had the success for the 16 years, so now you just got to regrow the program. And I think it's a good time. You got a new AD, you got a new football coach. It's an opportunity for them to just grow and get better. From what I hear from the Wyandotte team, they're young, so they can get better.
Right.
Know? And I'm saying they're going to probably get their first win this weekend against Warren Mott.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at you go
at
out on a
home.
limb.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to a football game. Let's talk about that. You went to a football game.
So-
Cass and Southfield.
Southfield, yeah.
Southfield.
So crazy part, we go on Thursday. My nephew, Caden Chapman, plays for Southfield. So we go to the game. It's at Lawrence Tech, right, which is in Southfield.
Okay, and it's probably a great facility.
Beautiful facility. If I had one thing to say, they did not have a visitor stand, so everybody's sitting on the home side, right? The big thing. That was part of one of the problems on Thursday, right? So we get there Thursday. We get to the game. The first thing is we get there right at 7, and then you hear them say that Cass Tech isn't there yet, right? What?
What?
All right, the game starts at 7. Within 3 or 4 minutes, you hear the security say, watch out, the team's here. So they come running onto the field, past everyone, and I'm like, well, they're probably going to warm up. Let's get in the concession line.
Referees say no.
They're blowing the whistle. They're ready to go, And come to find out, somebody canceled Cass Tech's bus, right? So they're late to the game. It did not work. Cass scored on the first drive. No warm-ups. I don't know if they were stretching on the bus or what. But they come in, they score on the first drive. Southfield goes back down, scores again. Cass Tech number 2 takes the kickoff. He's also the starting tailback, sophomore, fast as all get out. He scores on the kickoff, and then they score against a track meet on grass.
So we're not even done with the first half yet, and you told me it was like 24-22.
Correct. Now, the downfall is nobody's kicking. Well, Cass kicker missed every extra point, but then Southfield's just going for 2 on every play.
Gotcha.
But, so now there's skirmishes. We already mentioned that we're all sitting on the same side. So these young kids are going back and forth, and then they get out of hand a little bit. And I don't think Lawrence Tech and Southfield City weren't ready for the mass of people that were there, right? So all of a sudden, the announcer says, you got to go. Like, all fans have to evacuate. All fans have to evacuate. Never happened to me before in a high school game. So we have to get out of there. We leave. Game's great. It's 5 minutes to go until halftime. Now, there's so many penalties that it's 9-something, right?
And they
were late. Yeah, so anyway, we go home. And so they end up canceling that game that night. I guess enough people didn't leave. But they came back on Saturday at Lawrence Tech, no fans. And then Southfield won 56-54.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you score 54 points and lose a football game?
And you got to be sad, right?
Oh.
And I saw the standings today. So Southfield moved up to like 20th. And this is all divisions. And then Cass dropped 13 slots to 25.
Wow.
So it's still a lot of football to play. The other team that lost is defending state champ Martin Luther King. They lost to a team in Ohio or something, 46-22. So that Chelsea.
That's going to shuffle a deck there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting football season.
Deck's going to get shuffled.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to soccer.
Football. The other football.
Football.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Wyandotte started the season on August 17th, and they lost 4-1 to Cabrini. All right, and then they had a game on 8/20, and they beat Airport. And then their league opener, Downriver League opener, was the 24th, which was last Wednesday. And they lost to Edsel Ford, strong program, 7-1.
Yeah.
And it was they finished second in the league last year. The Bears, I don't believe, were very good last year.
Yep. And that win moved Edsel Ford to 4-1. They were up early and often against Wyandotte, 3-0 after the first half. And then that loss dropped Wyandotte to 1-2. Hassan Alatui led the way. He had a hat trick. They call it that in soccer too. Okay.
Soccer too, yeah.
All right. So he had 3 goals. Also a goal early in the game from Ali Asafar. Gave the T-Birds the 1-0 lead, and then I guess
and our Bears goaltender, they say come up with a big save. Okay, we want to thank Frank and the Mellis for some of these stats. The guy had 18 saves.
Wow.
18 saves. He's getting pounded. Only let in 7, and then probably a couple of them two were penalty kicks that I know of. Okay. And how do you stop those? You're right there in the box. Okay. Your defense tackles a guy when he's not supposed to. That's where they're putting the ball, right in front. And in fact, I read in this article back at work, they were up 6-0 and they got another penalty kick. And he let the goaltender come out of the goal and come up and kick the penalty kick. Man, talk about insult. That's insult.
Yeah, but it's nice for the goalie to get a goal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
It'd
nice
be great.
For the goal. Yeah, even in hockey, right?
And, Damon Smith scored the only Bears goal in that game. But Cruz, apparently he's a solid goaltender and was probably all over the place because those nets are large.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not a 6-footer, it'd be tough.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that is definitely a tough thing, and Juan Cruz will have better days here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They'll play. They'll be solid enough. What else do I talk about? I think that Cass Tech game was just hilarious. Golf. Yeah. Hey, we can get back to. We are actually getting emails.
Yes.
We have a couple of fans.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another day.
You better buy him something.
Yeah, no kidding. Both of them. I can afford 2 fans.
Yeah.
The Downriver League had a couple of golf jamborees, and there were 7 teams: Woodhaven, Dearborn, Etzel Ford, Southgate Anderson, and 2-time defending league champions from Gibraltar Carlson. They were at Southwinds Golf Course in Southgate. Now that's basically a par 3. It's a small, short course.
Okay.
I'm shocked that they would use that as a tournament course. The other 3 schools, Allen Park, Trenton, and Wyandotte, all played Riverview Highlands. That's a nice track.
Okay. Those were girls as well, or were those boys that played at
boys
Riverview?
play in the spring.
Okay.
And so Woodhaven got the first place honors, and I don't know these numbers, 161. But, I mean, par at the Southwinds Golf Course, the Southgate par 3, I think, is
56.
30. They might have 2 par 4s, and then all the rest are 3s.
But it's
And-
18 holes, right?
No, they only play 9.
Okay.
So par is 30 or 29, and probably 29. And over at the other course, it's 36. So that's a huge difference, and the length factor too. Nothing against it. You're still competing on the same field. So I mean, we strap them on. You're on the same place, right? Whether it's windy, not windy.
But if I win at the par 3, I won the par 3 tournament.
Right,
Then
that-
if I win at the other one, I win the other tournament. Okay.
And Woodhaven got the par 3 honors.
Okay.
161. Carlson was 14 strokes back. Anderson was 3rd. Etzel Ford was bringing up the rear. And then, let's see, and the highlight of the day came on the par 3 13th when Woodhaven's Aiden Rushlow got a hole-in-one from 160 yards out.
Wow.
Now, I've been playing this game since I was 9 years old. I don't have one of those.
Oh.
Okay?
What's her name? Adeline Rushlow?
Yeah.
Adeline Rushlow.
Congrats. First school female ace in the history of Woodhaven.
Wow.
And pretty cool.
You know what's crazy is like, you're looking for, barely play golf, right? I know I'd be looking for I'm never looking in the hole for it. when do you start looking in the hole for it?
And you know what?
I mean? You're like, oh,
There
I don't know
are
where it's
hundreds of people that have accidental hole-in-ones. I mean, there are kids that have gotten one, and there are 90-year-old guys that have gotten one, and it was their first one. You know what I mean? Even the scratch players on tour, they might have a handful. They might have 15. You know what I mean? And they beat 800,000 golf balls. On the other side, congrats to her. Let's see. Where's the Riverview Highlands? It was Trenton on top. Team score 206. Now that alone will tell you the difference. 161 for the par 3, 206 for Trenton on the other. Allen Park was 15 strokes behind, and they've got a really good golfer. Let's see, what is it? Kira Hunter, I believe, is the good one. She's the good player. She made the state finals, I believe.
Did Trenton win it?
Yes, they won the one at Riverview Highlands.
And it says that Trenton had 6. It says all 6 of Trenton's golfers finished in the top 10.
Nice. Yeah.
So they were down one. Is that their home court? Is that their home course? Ava Carson, 41, placed first out of the 17, 9 strokes ahead of runner-up placeholder Elizabeth Mattoon. Is that the lady that's the All-Stater?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
We've been out a long time.
No, I get it. Well, she was the highest scorer for Allen Park. The only reason I asked.
Right.
She was 50. She shot a 50. But Ava Carson shot a 41. The rest of the Trojans' top 4 consisted of Ulysses Berger, 52, and tied for 4th with Maya Sinclair, 56. Tied for 6th with Sadie Saunders, and she had a 57.
Yeah, Roosevelt Michaela Calhoun was our best player out there, 52.
Leading the
So
way.
she was probably the 4th place tie overall. Good for her. And then Claudia Dazinger, then it gets a little high here, 67. Sophia Bolton, 77. And Brooke Jones, 79. They got to get their swings in.
No, they will.
You know, and you just got to, you know, I can relate to scoring high in golf. I certainly can.
And the good news is that they play at home next.
Yeah.
So their
yeah.
home course will give them a little cooking.
Yeah, they're out here all the time. And, you know, they practice a lot at Riverview. That's where they got the practice facility, the driving range. So you don't have the luxury of a driving range here.
Okay.
You could beat balls into the Detroit River, I guess, if you had enough of them.
Yeah.
And they have some nets set up to warm up. Well, all I'll say is it's great to be back.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I saw you August 5th. That's about the only time. We have communicated a little bit, but Caroline gave us the summer off, and we needed it. Ken's got 2 kids in sports, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and your daughter's doing well?
Yeah, everybody's doing pretty good.
I mean,
today was the first day of school for my little kids.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so they started back to school today.
Who's the softball player when you came to the thing?
Carrington. Carrington, that's my 13-year-old. She's playing.
Solid?
Yeah. They actually had a chance to go to the World Series over the summer. It was fantastic. They played really well.
Cool.
Yeah, so.
Cool. Well, that's it for that. My daughter got one more semester, and you know, she'll be all out of school.
Yeah.
I just got that bill. Darn, you know, she waits till she gets back to school, and it says, "Hey, I owe for the last 3 months."
You're like, what?
I know.
Thought you
That's
were
what I
here.
said. What? You know, well, she said I wasn't here to know. You know.
Yeah.
So there goes that Social Security I've collected. Anyway,
Gotta go
it's
somewhere.
great to be back.
Yeah, it's good to
And
see you.
don't forget, you can see us on Channel 15. We will be on YouTube. And get a hold of us at localsportswrapup@gmail.com. Really easy to remember. And Ken, I'll see you in a week.
Okay.
And
Appreciate you.
yeah,
Yeah.
you too. And we'll be back.